Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless Official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The night in Genoa City was colder than usual, the kind of night where every secret feels heavier, every truth sharper. The flashing red and blue lights outside the Grand Phoenix cut through the darkness, painting the marble lobby in a haze of chaos and disbelief. Guests had gathered near the windows, murmuring, their phones raised, trying to capture what could only be described as the end of an era. Sienna stood at the center of it all, her trembling hands covering her mouth as police officers restrained Mitch, the man who had once promised to protect her, now being dragged away in handcuffs. Her cries pierced the night air, raw and uncontrollable. "No. Please, don't take him. He didn't do it," she screamed, her voice breaking as she tried to reach him. But it was too late. The cuffs clicked into place, the sirens wailed, and Mitch was shoved into the back of the squad car. Nick Newman stood frozen near the entrance, his jaw tight, his eyes dark with confusion and fury. He had come to the Grand Phoenix hoping for answers about Noah's death, answers that had been tormenting him for weeks, but nothing could have prepared him for this. When the detective read Mitch's rights, everything fell into slow motion. Sharon, standing a few feet away, clutched her chest, her lips trembling as she whispered, "Oh my God. Mitch?" Her tears blurred her vision, but she could see the horror on Sienna's face, the woman who had tangled herself so deeply into her family's tragedy that Sharon could no longer tell where guilt ended and grief began. As Mitch was pushed into the back seat, he suddenly shouted, his voice echoing down the street, stopping everyone in their tracks. "You want the truth? You want to know who killed Noah Newman?" His words sliced through the cold night, pulling everyone's attention. Sienna stopped crying for a moment, staring in disbelief, her mascara streaking down her cheeks. Sharon grabbed Nick's arm, her heart pounding. The detectives hesitated, and Mitch, with one last defiant breath, bellowed, "It wasn't me. It was her. She's the mastermind, she made me do everything." Gasps erupted from the crowd. Cameras flashed. Sienna's entire body went numb. "No," she whispered, backing away. "No, Mitch, don't do this, please don't," but Mitch didn't stop. He looked directly at Sienna, his eyes cold and broken. "You think you can play innocent forever? You think you can hide behind those tears? You're the one who planned it all. You told me to lure Noah to that pier. You wanted revenge on the Newmans, and now everyone will finally know the truth." Sienna's knees buckled, and she collapsed to the ground as Sharon screamed in disbelief. Nick rushed forward, his entire body trembling with anger. "Tell me he's lying, Sienna," he demanded, his voice low but dangerous. "Tell me he's out of his mind." But Sienna couldn't speak. Her lips quivered, her breathing shallow, and her tears came harder than ever. She looked up at Nick with eyes that pleaded for mercy, or maybe for understanding. "Nick, I swear to you, I didn't kill Noah," she sobbed. "I loved him. I loved him like," she stopped herself, covering her mouth again. The words hung heavy in the air, unsaid but understood. For Sharon, it was too much to bear. She turned away, shaking her head in disbelief as the world around her spun out of control. Her son's death, the lies, the manipulation, and now the horrifying possibility that the woman who had inserted herself into their lives, the woman her son once trusted, was the very reason he was gone. "Get her away from me," Sharon cried out. "I don't want to hear another word from her." Detective Rosales tried to calm her, but Sharon's rage only grew as Sienna reached out to Nick. "Please, Nick, you have to believe me," Sienna begged, her voice breaking. "I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I just wanted to protect someone I loved." Nick's eyes softened for just a second, that flicker of compassion he could never completely turn off. He remembered the night Noah died, the mysterious phone call, the strange look in Sienna's eyes when she arrived at the memorial. Deep down, he had sensed she was hiding something, but he had also felt drawn to her, a pull he couldn't resist, even when every instinct screamed danger. And that weakness, that dangerous connection, was exactly what Sharon feared most. As Nick helped Sienna to her feet, Sharon's heart cracked open in pain. "Nick, don't you dare," she snapped, stepping between them. "Don't you dare fall for her act again. She's lying to you, just like she lied to Noah." Sharon's voice echoed in the lobby, filled with years of heartbreak and maternal anguish. "You always see the good in people who don't deserve it, and look where that's gotten us. Our son is dead." Sienna flinched at Sharon's words, her sobs shaking her entire body. "You think I don't grieve him every day?" she cried. "You think I don't hear his voice when I close my eyes? Noah was everything to me, and when he died, a part of me died too." Her confession filled the silence, raw and painful. For a moment, even Sharon was speechless. But then Sienna's eyes darted toward Mitch, who was glaring at her from the squad car. "Mitch is lying," she whispered. "He's trying to destroy me because I was going to leave him. He threatened me for weeks. I was scared. I didn't know what to do." Nick's mind raced. The puzzle pieces didn't quite fit, but something about Sienna's desperation felt real. He'd seen guilt before, this wasn't guilt. It was something else, fear. Genuine, suffocating fear. "Then tell me everything," Nick demanded softly. "No more secrets. Who's behind this? Who's pulling the strings?" Sienna hesitated, glancing around as if the walls themselves might have ears. "You don't understand," she whispered. "If I say his name, we're all dead." That sentence hit Nick like a sledgehammer. Sharon gasped, realizing this went deeper than she'd ever imagined. Mitch wasn't the mastermind, and Sienna wasn't the top of the chain either. There was someone else. Someone far more dangerous. As the police car drove away with Mitch inside, his voice echoed faintly from the rolled-down window, "You'll never stop him, Sienna. He owns you. He owns all of you." Those chilling words hung in the air long after the car disappeared down the street. The silence that followed was unbearable. Sienna collapsed again, her sobs uncontrollable. Sharon turned away, unable to watch, while Nick crouched beside her, torn between anger, compassion, and the gnawing suspicion that she might still be hiding something monumental. Back at the police station, Mitch was questioned for hours. Reports spread quickly. Noah's case, long considered a tragic accident, was being reopened as a homicide investigation. Sharon refused to go home. She waited in the cold hallway, clutching Noah's photo, whispering prayers. Nick stayed by her side for a while, but his mind was elsewhere, back at the Grand Phoenix, where Sienna had been taken for questioning. By dawn, word had spread across Genoa City. The morning news headline read, "Noah Newman's murder, arrest made, model Sienna Bacall under suspicion." When Nick saw the broadcast, his stomach churned. He couldn't stop thinking about the look in Sienna's eyes, the trembling in her hands. She wasn't the calculating killer Mitch claimed she was, he was sure of it. Against all logic, against Sharon's pleas, he went to see her. At the precinct, Sienna sat behind the glass in an interrogation room, her face pale, her eyes swollen from crying. When she saw Nick enter, her lips trembled. "You shouldn't be here," she said quietly. "If they see you, it'll make things worse." Nick ignored her warning, his voice low but steady. "I don't care. I need to hear it from you. Did you plan it, Sienna? Did you have anything to do with Noah's death?" Tears welled up again. She shook her head slowly. "No," she whispered. "I didn't kill him. But I did something worse. I trusted the wrong man. I thought I could fix everything before it got out of control, but it was too late." Nick leaned closer, his voice trembling. Who are you protecting?" Sienna looked away, her silence louder than any confession. Then, after what felt like an eternity, she whispered a name so faintly that only Nick could hear it. His entire body stiffened, his face drained of color. "That can't be true," he said, stepping back in disbelief. He's family." Sienna looked up at him with haunted eyes. "I told you," she said. "No one in this town is safe from him. Not even the Newmans." Before Nick could respond, the door burst open. Detective Rosales ordered him out, warning him that his interference could compromise the investigation. Nick stormed out of the room, slamming the door behind him, his mind spiraling. If what Sienna said was true, then the true mastermind behind Noah's death wasn't Mitch, it was someone even closer to home. Later that night, Sharon sat alone at Crimson Lights, her coffee untouched, staring blankly at the door. When Nick arrived, his face was pale, his expression unreadable. "You saw her, didn't you?" Sharon asked quietly. "You went to her." Nick didn't answer right away. He sat across from her, his hands shaking slightly. "I had to," he admitted. "I needed to know." Sharon's eyes filled with tears again. "And," she whispered. "What did she say?" Nick hesitated, his voice barely above a whisper. "She said it wasn't Mitch. She said the person behind Noah's murder is someone we both know. Someone in our family." Sharon's eyes widened, her breath catching in her throat. "No," she said firmly, shaking her head. "No, Nick, she's lying. She's trying to destroy us." But deep down, Nick wasn't so sure. Every instinct in him screamed to protect his family, but his heart, that relentless, restless heart, couldn't let go of Sienna. Even now, even with every warning sign flashing red, he couldn't resist her. He saw something in her, pain, remorse, a desperate kind of love that mirrored his own. As the storm outside raged, Nick looked out the window, lost in thought. Sharon reached for his hand, but he pulled away, conflicted and tormented. "Don't do this," she whispered. "Don't let her pull you in. She's already taken our son, don't let her take you too." Nick didn't respond. His eyes remained fixed on the rain, his heart already betraying him. And somewhere, in the dark corners of Genoa City, the true mastermind, the real puppet master behind Noah's murder, watched everything unfold with a satisfied smile. The game wasn't over. In fact, it was only just beginning. Because while Sienna cried for forgiveness and Nick wrestled with temptation, Sharon was about to face her worst nightmare, the horrifying truth that the person responsible for her son's death might be someone she loves more than life itself. And when that truth finally comes to light, Genoa City will never be the same again. The wind howled through Genoa City that night as if the entire city were mourning. The rain fell hard against the Newman Ranch windows, echoing the chaos inside Nick Newman's mind. Sleep was impossible. He sat alone in the dark, his whiskey untouched, his thoughts replaying every word Sienna had spoken. "He's someone you both know. Someone in your family." Her trembling voice still haunted him. The image of her face, broken, tear-streaked, terrified, refused to fade. Every instinct told him to stay away, to believe Sharon and protect what was left of their family, but his heart wouldn't listen. He rose from his chair, pacing. His phone vibrated. It was a message from an unknown number, "Meet me at the pier. Midnight. Come alone." His chest tightened. No name. No clue. But something told him it was connected to Sienna. Against better judgment, Nick grabbed his coat and left, the rain soaking through his shirt as he headed toward the same pier where Noah's life had ended. Meanwhile, at the police station, Sienna sat in a dimly lit interrogation room. Hours had passed since Mitch's arrest, and she had barely spoken. Her hands trembled as she stared at the reflection of herself in the two-way mirror. She didn't recognize the woman staring back, hollow eyes, pale skin, and guilt carved deep into her soul. Detective Rosales re-entered, dropping a folder on the table. "You're not helping yourself, Sienna," he said sternly. "Mitch's statement puts you at the scene. If you keep quiet, you'll go down for this." Sienna lifted her gaze slowly. "If I talk," she said in a cracked whisper, "you'll have more than one dead body on your hands." Rosales frowned, trying to read her expression. "Are you saying you're in danger?" "I'm saying we all are," she replied, voice trembling. "The man behind Noah's death isn't done yet. Mitch was just a pawn. So was I." Before Rosales could press her further, a uniformed officer entered the room, whispering something in his ear. The detective's expression changed instantly. "Where's Nick Newman right now?" he asked. Sienna's eyes widened. "What's happening?" Rosales hesitated, then muttered, "We just got a report, someone spotted him down by the docks." "The same place your boyfriend said the deal went down." Sienna shot up from her chair, panic flashing across her face. "You have to stop him," she screamed. "If he's there alone, he's walking right into a trap." Rosales didn't wait for further explanation. He ordered 2 officers to head for the pier, while Sienna's cries echoed through the hallway. "He doesn't know who he's dealing with," she shouted, her voice breaking. "They'll kill him just like they killed Noah." At the pier, the night was thick with fog. Nick's shoes splashed through shallow puddles as he made his way toward the faint light at the end of the dock. He could barely see, but he felt the weight of unseen eyes on him. "Sienna," he called out cautiously. "If you're here, talk to me." A shadow moved. Then another. Nick's heartbeat quickened. Suddenly, a figure stepped out from behind a shipping crate, tall, imposing, his face hidden beneath a hood. "You shouldn't have come here, Nick," the man said, voice deep and cold. Nick squared his shoulders. "Who are you? What do you want?" The stranger smirked. "You want answers about your son. You want to know who orchestrated his death." Nick's fists clenched. "You're damn right I do." "Then look no further," the man said, lowering his hood. The streetlight flickered, and Nick froze. It was Adam Newman. Nick stumbled back, disbelief washing over him. "No," he breathed. "No, this isn't possible." "Adam?" Adam's expression was unreadable, calm but unsettling. "You always underestimated me, Nick," he said quietly. "You thought I'd walk away from Newman, from the empire that was rightfully mine. But Noah got in the way." Nick shook his head violently, rage building inside him. "You're lying." "You wouldn't." Adam's eyes glinted. "Wouldn't what?" "Protect what's mine? Make sure no one threatens my future?" He stepped closer. Noah was working with a reporter. He was digging into the money trail, funds transferred through shell companies linked to me. He was going to expose everything, ruin me. I tried to warn him, but he didn't listen. Nick's voice broke. "So you killed him?" Adam's gaze darkened. "I didn't have to. I just gave the order. Mitch took care of the rest." Sienna was supposed to lure Noah away, distract him, but she fell for him instead. It got messy. Nick's blood boiled. "You destroyed our family again," he roared, lunging forward and grabbing Adam by the collar. "You murdered my son." Before Adam could respond, headlights appeared through the fog. Police sirens blared in the distance. Adam shoved Nick backward, knocking him into the wet pavement. "Careful, brother," he sneered. "You wouldn't want to get your hands dirty now, would you?" Nick scrambled to his feet, shouting after him as Adam disappeared into the shadows. "You won't get away with this. I'll make sure everyone knows what you did." When the police arrived minutes later, Nick was trembling, drenched, and furious. Detective Rosales ordered the officers to sweep the area, but Adam was already gone. Sienna arrived shortly after, escorted by another detective. When she saw Nick, relief flooded her face, until she saw the look in his eyes. "It was him, wasn't it?" she asked softly. "You saw him?" Nick turned to her, his expression filled with a mix of grief and fury. "You knew," he said in a broken whisper. "You knew it was Adam." Sienna's lip quivered. "I wanted to tell you, but..." "But what?" Nick shouted. "You were scared? You let me think Mitch killed my son while my brother, my own blood, was the real monster?" Tears streamed down her face. "Nick, I didn't know the full story until it was too late. Mitch said Adam had something on him, something that could destroy us both. He made me promise to stay quiet. If I didn't, Adam would have me killed too." Nick turned away, his jaw trembling. "You should have trusted me." Sienna's voice cracked. "I did. But by then, it didn't matter. Adam was already covering his tracks. Noah was gone, and nothing I said could bring him back. For a long moment, the only sound was the rain and the distant hum of sirens. Then Sharon appeared, her umbrella trembling in her grip as she approached the scene. Her eyes darted between Nick and Sienna, confusion and dread in every movement. "What's going on?" she asked. "What happened?" Nick turned slowly toward her, his eyes filled with unspeakable pain. "It was Adam," he said hoarsely. "He's the one behind Noah's death." Sharon's face went white as her umbrella slipped from her hands. No, Nick, that's not true," she whispered, backing away. "He wouldn't. Adam wouldn't do that to us. He wouldn't do that to Noah." Sienna lowered her gaze, unable to look Sharon in the eyes. "I wish it wasn't true," she whispered. "But I heard him. I saw the files. Adam paid Mitch to stage the accident."